Today we'll be speaking at the Parramatta campus, Western Sydney University. So what I'll be doing is I'll be going to work half day and then leaving to go do the presentation with Elaine and Chris. And that leads me to my topic of being bootstrapped. That's funding your startup yourself. We spend endless hours after work to run the startup, manage the tech and build relationships. Sometimes we have to take annual leave, so that's also another problem, running low on annual leave. Heading off to Para Uni. Really good feedback in that one. What do you think?
Yeah, it was awesome. It's my first presentation. It was a good turnout, but it validates exactly why we created the app. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good turnout today. It was good to also have Chris along as well. This will be his first one, and then we've got one tomorrow. It was good.
Okay. Funding our app has been a pretty challenging task. We're at a point where we need to bring in money to sustain the business, but we don't necessarily want to give up equity at the moment because we don't want to give up too much control. Just got a text from my accountant. Bootstrapping in any business, funding it yourself, means added pressure on everyone around you. There's a lot of pressure from my parents for the success on this app. Their mentality is a little old school, so they're more about the financial benefits, whereas myself, Chris and Elaine, we're more about the long-term vision because we know how much of an impact this can have on students transitioning from school or uni to employment. But yeah, when you're bootstrapped, you're very limited in what you can do. So everyone who's in the startup has to wear multiple hats at the same time. So it's really stretching our skill set, but it's also limiting our resources. Although we're stretching our skill set, we don't want to half-ass anything. So that means that by stretching our skill set, things can take a little bit longer. Yeah, so we're in a bit of a catch-22 at the moment, whether or not we take investment on and give up control of how the app and the business should run, or, ultimately we will do that. We just don't know if it's the right time to do that right now. Let me just show you what I mean. Why you would. There's growth and speed. Obviously when you have more money, you can grow faster in terms of your team, exposure and so forth, and speed. You can scale a lot faster. You know, you can iterate, you can build You can test new things a lot faster when you've got the resources behind you. Why you wouldn't take on investment, especially at this stage of our startup, is control, ownership, and not the right time. And I guess what I mean by that is we feel it's not the right time to give up equity so soon, because we can wear all the hats in terms of marketing, management, operations, all that kind of stuff. We know that we can do it. So we feel that it's not the right time. We can do the marketing, which is free, not necessarily free. You know, our time is invested, but we can do everything. Because we're investing our time means that we're slower. Like I mentioned earlier, when you have investment, you can grow faster. And ownership, because down the line, we feel that this app's gonna go big. We know that there is a problem that we're planning to solve, and we've got some really good feedback and traction so far. But we feel that it's the right move right now. Many people may think it's not, but to us it is. We feel that we can do it. We're confident we can do it. From the outside looking in, I think we would get different opinions on that, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah, so that's my take on bootstrapping, funding. That's how we've funded it so far. It's challenging in a Samoan family, because you know, you gotta help mum and dad. Just always thinking about the long-term goal, keeping the vision in the forefront in everything we do. And if we stick to our guns, we'll be okay.